Even in, I'd say, super developed countries like the United States, that something like that is still a possibility, and that could happen, like the social unrest, or what did you call them, feral?
Yes, exactly, dairy towns.
It's important to note that this is also not something you come and you finish it and it's gone. It's something that needs to be in place, and people need to take it forward with contingencies, I assume.
Very much so, and I love that insight, because you're right. I mean, the world is dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah, so it might be that for the next 20, 30 years, you could set it up for success, but then industries change, cultures change,
Yes.
norms change, and then there's kind of perhaps an opportunity that creates a risk to
Yes.
then redirect. But it's to be vigilant and not kind of assume that everything is just going to stay the same. We live in a dynamic world. I use this concept of resilient futures.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people think of resilience as this concept of, recovery, quick recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I take it a step further. I kind of think in this modern world in which we live, where the pace of change is so dynamic, it's the ability to be agile, the ability
Yes.
to adjust, the ability to evolve, and to be constantly aware of that. Because I think we might imprison ourselves if we're too tied
Yep.
to what is. I'm not talking about throwing away traditions or throwing away cultures, but the necessity to actually evolve in order to actually remain sustainable in our current world.
There's a massive responsibility tied to progress, like you mentioned, not to lose identity or culture or those things, not at all of that, but to, I think what I see with your brand is also the discipline that goes with something like this.
Exactly. There's a consciousness to it.
Yeah.
And I kind of think, just for me, inspirationally, the catchphrase that kind of really touched my heart was this notion of best of both. You do focus on the traditions,
Yes.
but you also do focus on necessary progress and allow these to blend. Of course, that's the ideal.
Yes.
One doesn't quite get that sweet spot always right, but that's what one aspires to. And again, the social economic blend, but also old and new. And how do you find those balances?